Hi, my name is Jay. Your name is?
Andrew.
Andrew. Your name is?
Brandy.
Hey, Brandy. We're out here at Balboa Park in San Diego, California on 9/11. Yeah, one of those big days in history that will be in forever, and the day to make you think, for sure. We're out here asking the big question. What do you guys think is going to happen to you after you die? So your eyes go closed. What happens next? Anything or something?
Well, myself, I believe that what happens when I'll die, as long as I've done the right thing here on this earth, I believe my spirit will move on, whether it's a living animal, one of my close family members or whatnot, my offsprings. I believe my spirits will live on into something good.
Okay. So your eyes go closed and then your spirit just kind of drifts off into the earth somewhere? Is that how it works or what?
Well, I believe wherever you go, wherever it's, well, let's say you go to heaven.
Okay.
You answer to your Father. And I just believe that my spirit will basically drift off and live into one of my family members, basically. Probably to shelter one of my close family members or my whole family in general.
So, how about you? You guys married? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
You share the same thought? Sometimes couples have different thoughts on that.
It's a little different for me.
Okay.
I think that my past plays a part in what my future's gonna be.
Okay.
Whatever your religion is, kind of is really strong. There are some times I feel like maybe I might live on an animal and my kids, or probably be back here again, but in a different form, and such as another person's child or anything like that. But I really haven't thought strongly about what really would happen to me and my soul or my spirit or my being, period, once I close my eyes and I'm done. I figure once they're closed, and I'm going wherever I deserve to go, kind of. Mm-hmm. It's not like a topic I just sit down and, I'm going to be an animal. Yeah, I'm going to be a rat. No, I'm not. So
I was going to be something last week. It was going to be a tiger. So
yeah, it's like I don't think I want to be a tiger, but then again, you never know. Because like if you're into your zodiac, like I'm a real zodiac freak, I may wake up and be a lion. I mean, it's kind of hard to say when you're 20, and you don't want to think about that you're gonna die tomorrow. So that's a broad situation, but I came to the conclusion that when that time comes, whatever happens kind of happens from there.
Mm-hmm. So you guys come back through any kind of religion in your family? You guys got any kind of background in that regard? Or was your family religious
Christian.
at all? Christian? Okay. So you guys go to church and that kind of thing? Or
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Every now and then? Okay. You grew up in San Diego, or?
I actually grew up in Miami.
Miami? Okay,
Yes.
okay. You too, or?
Yeah.
Same area? Okay. So you what brings you out to San Diego?
I'm a Marine.
Okay.
And I'm stationed here.
Yeah, so that's okay. Well, thank you for your service, that's
No
for
problem.
sure. Protecting us here in this world, I'll tell you, a lot going on.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. So before we go any further in the conversation, my wife and I are Christians.
Okay.
We are. You talked about Christian there. So we believe in Jesus Christ. We believe that He's the only way we're going to heaven. And it's not on our good deeds or anything like that. It's going to get us to heaven. Jesus is the door to get us there. And without our belief and trust in Him, we're not going. So a lot of people go, how do you believe that? I mean, how do you get to that one? And that's an okay thing to think. I mean, you're putting everything on Jesus. I mean, why that?
A person you never seen, something you never felt. You can't smell them, you can't see them. But at the same time, when it's a million people who believe in one thing, sometimes you feel like it's the right thing to do. When you're raised up in that household, you kind of like that's all you have. My mom didn't say this tree made me. I don't think that a tree could create me, but I think a person could create it. A being could create that tree because it's living, obviously. It grows, and at some point, once you tie that knot away from the mother, what happens? How are you still functioning? How is your mom functioning? How is your husband functioning? So I think a lot of people get that twisted with, maybe there's something else. There's a person out here. My mom is who I should idolize, but it isn't, So I think us growing up in that Christian household molded us a little differently to become adults and decide on our own.
Yeah.
We're not, down holier than thou people, like, we run the world because we're under Jesus Christ. But at the same time, we got a lot more power than The normal person who thinks that they're gonna be, that their God is some, again, like the tree. You know, no, I just don't. That doesn't sound right to me. That we're gonna come back, or we were born as monkeys. No, I don't get the evolution and that weird stuff. That stuff don't make sense. An alien? Did you see an alien walking around here? So I prefer to stick to what I know, and I think my husband thinks that that's the right way to go. I'd rather believe in something that I can't see, taste, or feel than something I can that looks scary. And if an alien lands down here, I'm gonna run the other way. You know, so.
Yeah, we've all been on different life journeys, right? I mean, some of us been raised Muslim, some of us been raised atheist, some of us been raised Catholic. That's all they ever knew from birth. That's how they were raised. But now comes the day. You can meet us here in Balboa Park, and we may talk about some things that you're going to agree with. We may talk about some things that you disagree with. But I believe a day that goes by that you don't learn something new is a day wasted. Right?
Yes.
Because you have so much opportunity in this world to learn new things, but you got to, whether you're going to act on it or not, that's really up to you. You know, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe our God could force himself upon you. Yeah, I do. I think he's got the power to do that.
Stop you in your tracks.
Yeah, he's got the power to do that. But I think his love is different than that. I think it's kind of like a relationship between a father and a child,
yes.
or mother and a child.
Yes.
When the mother or father force their love upon their children, don't mean much, right? Doesn't mean they, once the time comes, they're going to be out of there and, I don't love my mom, dad. They don't love me. I'm out of here. Yeah. But when it's genuine and when it's real, that child comes up to the mom and dad and goes, I love you for who you are and what you've done for me, and just that person you are. That's totally different, right? And that's how I feel our God, our Creator, wants that from us. He wants us to choose Him and what He's done for us, and the creation He's surrounded us with, relationships He's allowed us to have with people, and just what He's given us here.
I myself, I feel like he gives us direction. He gives us wisdom to live by, and because He's not on us 24/7, He gives us that leeway to live by what He taught us, and to actually go through everyday life experiencing the world. So basically, at the point when we actually close our eyes and we do die, that's when He sees us as to what we actually learned from Him. And that's how I feel about that.
I mean, the Bible teaches you what's going to happen after you die anyway. Or it teaches you what's going to happen before He just completely shuts us down. You know, and we're not robots. We don't have like a automatic shut off button. You know, once He shuts this world down, that's it. I mean, there's no, oops, let's try this one more time. There's no forgiving. So when you're here, it's kind of like, you should, I think that it's wrong of me not to be thinking of what will happen in a way, because it's like, you're not taking time out to better yourself. You know, I do have a lot of bad qualities, and it's like, ooh, maybe those will carry over in my afterlife. Well, what is my afterlife going to be like? You know, heaven or hell. That's the only choice we have right now. And some people don't look at the deeper aspect of it. All of this, the bad things that's going on right now, it's probably going to just get worse. You know, it's never going to get better. But since you're here, and if you're doing right, you're not afraid. Like, I'm not afraid living on Earth. I'm not afraid that people died in 9/11. I'm not afraid that planes could fall out the sky, because if I'm leaving, I'm going to leave anyway. You know, even if I leave quietly or painfully, I'm going to leave. But right now, I'm going to live. I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to respect. I'm going to love. I'm going to cherish. And I'm going to put my heart in knowing that my God got my back. You know, He got me. It's not going to be anything I should be afraid of. But Him, but why would I fear Him if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing? You know, so.
How about this, right and wrong? A lot of people get it's kind of gray to them, especially nowadays. It's getting grayer and grayer every day. Do you believe it's a firm right and wrong in this life?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's always been there, or do you think it's been kind of man-made?
There's always been a right and wrong. That's just how you should live by. The teachings and the upbringings that you've been taught while growing up, you know right from wrong. So that's how people should behave. I also, as I sit down and I think about it, I see this talk as a message from God himself, basically. Just sitting here in the parking, out of nowhere, we have an interview. and I actually just sit here and think about, it's a message from God. And you're questioning, asking, what do you guys, or where do you guys see yourself after you close your eyes and you're dead? It's basically a sign from God saying that you should actually take this time in order to think about the rights and wrongs that you're actually doing here on earth. And think about altering yourself, because I am the gateway to heaven, but I do want you to better yourself. I want you to be, of my name, of my teachings.
That's exactly how he feels. So when you're sitting out here, you're a gang member, you're killing, you're beating people up, but you're not seeing the bigger picture. They didn't do anything to you, But my Bible says, the blood. If you have blood on your hands, it's gonna come back on you 7 times worse. It's gonna multiply. And I hurt you, and he hurts me. It's worse on him, and so on and so forth. And I think that's why the world is as bad as it is, because people just think, oh, he got away with it, it's okay, but he never did get away with it. God already knew that you're gonna make this mistake long ago. Long ago, he knew what path you're gonna take. He knew that he was gonna try to push you on the right path, and you were gonna nudge back. You're gonna try to go again. He was gonna pull you back, and it was gonna keep happening. And a lot of times we don't see that the small things, such as people, normal everyday people walking up to us, interviewing us, can be, wake up. I'm doing this because it's something that we do. This is something that we do to get the message out, but it's a reality check, because you didn't have to speak to us. We could have been sitting here and you could have been like, let's bypass them, but there's a reason, as he said. And that right and wrong thing, it is man-made, because when God created us in his image, he wanted us to be, we are perfect to him, but he wanted us to be a certain way. And once he made us, that man and that woman went on her own path. You see, and she made it worse for everybody thus following. It doesn't matter. It could have been him that made it, that was wrong. Regardless, it was the human being messed up made the chain reaction to what we're dealing with now. And now that it's 2011, it's awful. And I'd be surprised if we make it to 3,000, because if anybody's on earth by 3,000, that's a blessing in itself and a curse. Because that means I just think it'll be so much wrong. It won't be any more good. Left over.
I think we all do things wrong, right? You really try to but those thoughts, just walking down the street, you have thoughts that come to mind, it's constantly, you're not proud of the thoughts you may have. Why did I think that? Jeez. Camouflage my mind, put steel around it or something, keep me from thinking those things. But we're sinners, right? And that's who we are. And that's that whole message of Jesus, and getting those sins forgiven, and he's the only one that can do that. He realizes that he gave us that way to get to heaven, but we got to trust in him. Let me give you what's called the good person test real quick. It's what it does is makes you really think about whether you're good or maybe you're not so good. Have you guys ever told a lie in your life?
Yes.
Okay. So is everybody in Balboa Park here, right?
Yep.
Right? It's just, if they say they didn't, they're lying. So what does the world call people that lie? Liars, right?
That's true.
Right? Okay. Ever stolen anything in your life? Taking something without permission, even as a kid?
Yeah. It's so simple to do that.
So what does the world call people that steal?
Thieves.
Thief on the cross, thief, right? Thieves, right? Ever said the Lord's name in vain, said it in a curse word?
Yes.
And the Bible, and that's called blasphemy, right?
Yes.
You're using your Creator's name in a curse word, right? So these are all sin, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot. I'm just giving you some examples. There's a whole lot more. There's adulterous thoughts. There's all kinds of stuff that we can go on and on with, right? So, based on the sins you said you've committed, we believe as Christians, after this life ends, we're going to come before God. We're going to be judged for the things we did in this life. Right. So, based on those sins that you said you committed, do you think you're going to heaven or hell?
I believe I'm going to heaven.
In the life ended today and you were judged for what you did in this life, you're going to heaven. Why are you going to heaven?
Because after everything I've done, I've sat down time and time again, and I've asked God to forgive me for my sins. And I've also asked him to, be my Lord and Savior. And I follow his teachings so that I may act the right way. Now, no one's perfect but the Lord himself.
Right.
But if you do ask the Lord and Savior for those things, he'll gladly take you on that path.
Again, he knows your heart. He knows your mind.
You're not fooling him, right?
He knows why you may have done it. He knows that you could do things unintentionally. He knows that when you ask him, he'll give it. If you ask him to bind those hands that you hit with, or bind that mouth that you use all day, and your mind that makes you go through those thoughts, and you repent for your sins, you only have to give yourself to him once, and he'll just help you.
Yeah.
He's never one of those cut off guys. He's not gonna just say, okay, you asked me and you didn't do what I told you to do, I'm cutting you loose. No. But if you get to the point, I think I was taught that God doesn't have a breaking point, but he does. I think he has a breaking point. It's just so broad, we can't get to that point. We break instantaneously. He doesn't do that because he has so many so much love to give to us. He's that father figure. He wants to go ahead. I'm gonna give you that chance, but he's a forgiving God. It's a point where you're bashing. If you're atheist, I think it's a wrap for you. That's my personal opinion. That's not being judgmental, but you've already set in your mouth and through your mind and with your hands that there is no God. You don't care. You don't believe in this. You don't believe in that. But that's wrong. But that's me because of how I was raised. So I don't know if he'll. Like I said, I don't know where I'm going. I'm not one. He may think he's going to heaven. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do in a week. But I can hope and pray and keep my body, to the best of my abilities. Maintain my temple. Do as I'm told, and live and let God. I mean, I think that's the only option, because you're human. You make mistakes, and with the stealing, you can have a pen sitting right there, and I don't know that I'm taking your pen and I'll walk out with that pen. That's stealing. But it's not, it wasn't, you didn't know that you were doing that.
Yeah. God knows the difference, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're not fooling him. We know there's right and there's wrong. It's kind of like the judicial system. Let's use it as an example of a minute, all right? So you say you were a car thief, and tonight you went out and stole a bunch of Mercedes-Benz. So you got caught red-handed. You go before the judge, and do you think if you came before the judge and you had clear evidence against you, he's just going to let you off?
No.
Serving jail time.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a time even before our God, got that same type of way. But what we see Jesus Christ as the person that goes in there, pays your bail, and gets you off scot-free. But all we got to do is trust and believe in him. And you trust and believe in him, there should be a change going on in your life, right? Because it's one thing to just say it, it's another one to live it.
Yep.
If you're living it, you're going to be doing the right things in life, or walking that right path. But if it's not real to you, if it's just words coming out of your mouth, you're going and stealing, you're going and doing these things you shouldn't be doing, and you're not going to care. You're going to be cussing up a blue streak about using his name in vain. It's no big deal to you.
Right.
It's just like a get out of jail free card, and that doesn't mean nothing to me. You're going to want to do the right thing by our Lord. But anyway, my wife and I had something significant occur to us on November 6th of 2007. We believed in Jesus before this happened, but once it happened, it really underlined even the more for us that he's real. Okay. I'm going to share some testimony in our life that I brought some stuff to show you guys. I want you to just kind of look at it and think about it. On November 6th of 2007, it was right after the San Diego wildfires here in San Diego. Remember all those big fires all over the place?
I haven't heard of it, but...
Yeah, it was a fires here. There was people evacuated all over San Diego County. We were evacuated from our home. I was actually in Florida when the fires broke out, and my wife and my son took everything out of our home and moved out and everything. But after the fire, I got back to San Diego, did everything. I worked for a retirement community. And we evacuated all the people out of a retirement community to a high school here locally. And then we moved those people to my church. I actually go to the Rock Church in Point Loma. Okay. And so all the people in my retirement community, a lot of them anyway, lived there at the church for a couple days. And then we moved them back after the smoke cleared and back to the retirement community and everything. And then we thought, you know what? We need to do a thank you party for everybody helping out, all the volunteers and everything. So me and one of my coworkers said, you know what? We need a Mac computer in order to put together all the pictures and everything that we've got. Okay. We didn't have one at the retirement community. All we had was PCs, but I knew that the Rock Church had one. So I called the church up and I asked if we can come over and use their Macs. And they said, sure, come on over. So other than the fires and being there, that was the first time that I'd ever been to my home church during a work day. Okay. We drive over there. I'm working on the computer, and I get a cell phone call. And my wife was up in Long Beach at a convention. I get a cell phone call from my daughter. My daughter goes, Dad, there's some sheriffs at our front door. I said, sheriffs? What are they doing at our front door? Let me talk to them. So I talked to them on the phone. They say, Jay, you need to come home. And I go, what do I need to come home for? And he goes, I can't tell you on the phone, but you need to come home. I go, do I need my wife? And I'm thinking about the fire, and I'm thinking about all this stuff. He goes, no, where is she at? And I said, she's in Long Beach. So I went, well, she can wait. You need to come home. So I drove from Point Loma to Hamul, that's where I live, not knowing anything what was going on. I drive in the driveway, walk in the front door, and I'm greeted by two people from the medical examiner's office. And I lost an 18-year-old son in a car accident. And they told me and hugged me. And so how I lost him was kind of the unusual part. He just got a Acura Integra. It was a used Acura Integra. He wasn't used to the speed of it yet or anything. Mm-hmm. He had a 4-cylinder Jeep before that, real gutless car, and couldn't get really fast in it. Been driving this car for 1 week when it happened. He was a cross-country runner since the age of 8. He ran 40 miles a week on average. He was an AP calculus student in high school, real smart kid. Didn't drink, didn't do drugs. He jumped in this car and he was driving too fast. He was on his way to a college class at Mesa College, running class at Mesa College. Middle of a day, dry road day. I think something failed in his car. So this is the unusual part. He lost his life in the backyard of that house with the white cross on it. You see it?
Oh,
wow. This is his skid marks right here. See them? They're dead center on. This is a 94 West freeway. The In-N-Out Burger is over here on this side of the freeway. I don't know if you've ever seen it over there. Mm-mm. It's over in Lemon Grove.
Oh, no.
But he was in the fast lane. He came across traffic, hit a tree here, split his car in half, ripped him out of his seatbelt, and he landed in the backyard about this position over here, looking directly up at the cross on his back. Parts of his car were completely scattered around the cross and the roof. We actually have news video coverage up on our website of the owner of the house picking up parts of his car around the cross and his roof. So that was a trial in our life. He thought that was going to be any normal day like any other day in his life. He was going to go run with his friends. Kind of like today, right? We're out here enjoying the park, kind of doing your own thing. And he didn't know that was going to be his last moment. But it happened. So we're all going to lose loved ones sooner or later in our life. But the real question is, did he accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, get his sins that we've all done forgiven before he died? We think he did, but we're his earthly parents, right? We hope, we pray we'll see him someday in heaven. But that happened. One other thing occurred that I want to tell you about. He was an organ donor. He donated his body to an organization called LifeShare. And an 18-year-old boy got his tendons in his arm. He had Tommy John surgery. He was a baseball pitcher. And this is the newspaper article of the accident, November 7th, 2007. That's his car. 18-year-old driver slammed into a tree. So we got a letter from the 18-year-old. He wrote us a Dear Donor Family, and he writes us this letter. Hi, my name is Blake. I'm writing to your family to express my sincere empathy and your loss of your family member. I am deeply sorry for your family, and I'm praying that God may guide you in this time. I'm also writing to your family to great respect and gratitude for your family decision to donate this special gift. The transplant I received and the scarring that has taken place due to surgery will serve as a reminder of your family and especially your loved one. I am greatly privileged and thankful for my opportunity, which will be powered by your loved one, and he or she has enabled me to be healthy again. I thought I would share with you a brief history of who I am and what the surgery has allowed me to do. I'm an 18-year-old boy who has just graduated from Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana, California. I'll be attending Santa Clara University in the fall. I'm the oldest child and have one brother and two sisters. My brother is 17, my sister is 16. My littlest sister is 12. Growing up as a child full of energy and love for athletics, I played for hockey, basketball, football, soccer, and baseball. When I got into high school, a lot of those things started to change or not go the way I had hoped for. To make a long story short, I ended up lettering in football and baseball. I had many ups and downs in football, such as losing the quarterback job to the phenom Matt Barkley. He's the quarterback for USC. After being sophomore JV team, however, I ended up playing receiver for a varsity team my senior year and gained my life lessons along the way. In baseball, my sophomore year on varsity, I hurt my arm pitching. My junior year, I did the exact same thing. After that season, I got an MRI and I found out my ulnar collateral ligament, UCL, also known as a Tommy John ligament, was torn. I ended up playing third base for the team my senior year, however, and we had a remarkable season that again brought my many ups and downs, but my life lessons as well. I am honored to let you know that the transplant your family has so generously donated has replaced my damaged elbow ligament in my arm through surgery, commonly referred to as Tommy John surgery. I am currently still in stitches and in brace, and I have started my rehab process that will take approximately 1 year. I have hopes to play baseball and pitch at Santa Clara University. I will redshirt my first year due to the injury and rehab, but will resume my baseball activity my second year there. I am again very grateful for your family and hope to fulfill my dreams of pitching out of respect for your loved one. I will never forget your family and your loved one as he or she is in a better place. I hope to keep in contact with your family and cannot be thankful enough for what his surgery is going to enable me to do. Thank you again may God blessing for your family. You are in my prayers and my heart. Thank you. And then he signed it and he left his phone number there, and we called him. So we gave him a call, and we didn't get him on the phone. We left him a voicemail, and we waited months and months for a call back. We were kind of stunned he didn't call us right back, but we thought, he's an 18-year-old who got busy with his life, and we kind of left it at that. Well, one day, my wife and I were foster youth mentors. We take kids from the county out, we take them camping, bike riding, that kind of thing. My son was very active in that when he was alive. One day we were taking our foster youth mentee on a bike ride to Coronado. We're driving on the 94 West freeway, and we're right out in the front of this house on the freeway. My wife's cell phone rings. Who do you think is calling us for the very first time? The 18-year-old boy. We're all stunned. He's calling us right in front of this house. We live quite a ways from this house. So we're all looking at each other, and we said, oh, we answered the phone. So we set up a time to meet him and his mom for dinner up at Carlsbad at the Claims Upper Restaurant. We had dinner with them. We sat down, and the 18-year-old Blake, he asked, what kind of car did Devin die in? And we said it was an Acura Integra and the model and everything. And he looks at us funny and he says, I drive that same car. And then we find out his mom is a CASA, which are like foster youth mentors. They take kids from the county out shopping with them and that kind of thing. Then we find out his father is a child abuse judge. So we said all this stuff hooking up, and that's just like we're here today. I don't believe this is like we talked about before. God had us meet today for a reason. What you do with it is up to you guys. Sounds like you're searching. You've been in your life. It sounds like you've accepted Christ, but I pray that if you haven't, I don't know you guys, if you haven't, accepting Christ is as easy as getting down on your knees, maybe today, in your room tonight, by yourselves. It's that simple. Say, Jesus, I believe in you. I believe that you really can forgive me for my sins. You know what they are. Let me list off a few just so you know that I know. And I really believe that you got on the cross and died on the cross for my sins and rose again after 3 days. You do that, you're going to heaven. Even if you get in a car accident or die of cancer or whatever it may be, sooner than later, you'll have that. You'll have that assurance. But He's real, and you just got to make that choice before that time comes. But anyway, a couple of things I thought I'd share with you real quick. Kind of some things. This is laminin. I don't know if you guys ever heard about laminin before. This is what holds all your cells in your body together. Amazing that crosses hold your cells together in your body. There's millions of them all over your body. That's what they look like under a microscope. That's what they are. And in Colossians 1:15 through 17, let's read that real quick. The Son
is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together.
And that last line, and in him all things hold together. Amazing, he uses a cross to hold everything in our body together.
It's amazing.
That's one that I just thought I'd share. Look that up, laminin, when you get home on the internet. But here's another one that's kind of just stuff that, we're not going to know for sure. I'm just showing you some stuff that when I found out about it, I'm like, wow, they were aha moments for me. This is up in the Milky Way galaxy. This is actually done with the Hubble telescope. This is what's out there.
Wow.
Amazing, huh?
Wow.
Look that one up. That's the cross. You'll do a cross and up with NASA. But just stuff to think about. Anyway, any questions?
That's not. I don't know how to adjust that one. I can adjust the laminate one, but that one it's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while. Yeah. And just think about the universe itself. All the stars and everything out there. You guys know about Betelgeuse? It's way bigger than Earth. We're like this. Betelgeuse is massive, and there's this big, real big stars out there. We're just so small and everything that He has created. There's so much out there. But anyway, you guys, any questions for me?
Nope. You got us thinking though. We can tell you that one.
Okay. I'm going to leave you with 3 churches in the area. They're not associated with one another, but I think that they're Bible-believing churches that for you guys to maybe check out. And everybody is comfortable with a certain pastor and a certain way of teaching. But these 3 pastors of these churches teach out of the Bible. They open the Bible up and they talk to their congregation about the Bible. They're not one of those pastors that get up there and tell you, if you believe this, you're going to be rich. And blah, blah. If you get into one of those churches, you need to run out. But these 3 churches, I encourage you guys to look at them. One is a Rock Church, where we're going to actually when we get done here. They have 5 services a day, and it's done. The pastor there is Miles McPherson. He used to be a San Diego Charger years ago, but there's 13,000 people that go to that church. So it's out near, Liberty Station. That's where it is. Right. Yeah. And then there is Zion Christian Fellowship. It's a smaller church in Spring Valley. You might want to check out. Good Bible-believing church. And then there's Shadow Mountain Community Church in El Cajon, another good Bible-believing church. I encourage you guys to check those out and see if those fit in. Do you need to go to church in order to go to heaven?
No.
No, but when you go, it is the bride of Christ. Right. There are believers in that church that will help you learn about where you're going to go. You want to go for eternity, right? And there's people coming in there that know nothing about God, that you're there to be ready to accept them, to teach them about who He is, right? And to help you get through the temptations of this life, you need to surround yourself with people that love God, that know God, right? when you find yourself in the world around people, not to say you don't have people that don't believe in God as friends, because that's why you're there. You're friends to help them, to teach them, right? To help them, hey, invite them to church or whatever, and kind of help them along the road. But to surround yourself with good, strong Christian people around you will help you resist some of that stuff that's constantly getting thrown at you, right?
That's right.
It is constant. Look, you said you're in the Marines. Think about all the guys, some of the discussions that are around you all the time.
Imagine those things, like,
All day.
It's all day long.
From morning to about time to get off.
Oh yeah, and then you're almost getting brainwashed by that stuff. So you need to. That's another reason that you need to get plugged into some place that you can, start befriending people and get surrounding you with people that love the same God that you do. But and then you might be able to help some of your brothers in Marines to walk that same walk.
Right.
But you got to make that decision. Anyway, thank you for your time, and God bless you both.
Thank
and
you.
All right.